I hope all is well. Hi, this is Ginger here on Ginger's Rant Show, and it's 1 o'clock here in the afternoon, and we are now in heat wave number 3, I think. I think it's number 3. They're expecting another one the next week. I just wish, oh, okay. Half and half on my poll. Okay. Well, I'm trying to get more viewers. But what I'm afraid of is trolls. And I don't need trolls. And they could get a life somewhere. So, if anybody wants to be if they have spare time, if they want to be my moderator, that'd be great. Just, keep an eye on things and just, just kick the trolls out, just having a gay old time. Like John has moderators, and, also there were moderators on Randy's show too, because he was getting trolled. So if anybody wants to be a moderator, just contact me at virginiawatley755@gmail.com. So, okay. Yeah, I asked the group that they want to, watch my show and everything. And that would help on my... Oh, hi, Bill! Nice seeing you. Ladies, this is William Funkhauser. He is my high school classmate. And he's also a minister. And, yeah, today is National Black Cat Day. And, of course, my black cat is out hunting. Loki's out hunting. And, he doesn't like being inside this apartment when it's this hot. And I'm in a brick building. So it's great to see you, Bill. It really is. So anyway, yeah, I went through grade school and junior high and high school with him. So we know each other pretty well. So anyway, this is what's happening today. Yesterday, President Biden signed into law the Inflation Reduction Act, which really helps. Included in that law is negotiating prices for Medicare and Medicaid prescriptions, and also over-the-counter hearing aids for those that need hearing aids. Hearing aids depends on your level of hearing loss and how bad it is. It's always a good idea to go to an audiologist and check your hearing and make sure it's the right, right level when you get your hearing aids. Now I have to get my hearing aid test done once a year. I got just new hearing aids just this year, because my other set decided to keel over and die. Now I have to go back in. I have to get a hold of my audiologist again, get in and get my left hearing aid and get my tubes replaced. It's part of the, trying to think of the name of the company. But anyway, it's through Pacific Source, and these hearing aids are paid in full by my insurance company. Because they partner with them, and these hearing aids are digital. Of course, as Bill knows, I've always had hearing problems through school, and things kind of tough. You miss out a lot when you don't hear them very well. You really do. So, anyway, let's see what else is going on here. Anyway, this also the Reduction Act now address health care and also corporate taxes. Corporations are now required to pay more in there, the corporate taxes to help pay for stuff and get needed things done and fixed. Also, this would help address climate change, which is, like solar panels, wind turbines, electricity, and everything, instead of relying on nuclear-powered electricity. In other words, we're trying to wean away from the fossil fuels as much as possible. Because really, if you really think about it, how much fossil fuels do we have left as in coal and as oil? How much fossil fuels do we have left inside the planet? Yeah, that's a big question. Too bad we can't harness the volcanoes that erupt and somehow turn lava into energy, but I don't think there's a way yet. But who knows? What I was referring to was the eruption that's going on in Iceland right now. If you go to YouTube and you look up Iceland volcano and the Gildingfar volcano that's going on right now, look up there and subscribe there, and you can watch what changes are made. It's interesting watching natural science occur. It really is. So anyway, I'm glad this Reduction Act is now into law, and if the corporations just don't like it, well, that's just tough crap. They have to pay. And back in the 1950s, they didn't even complain paying corporate income tax. They didn't, because they used the same infrastructure as we did. So it's really no big deal. It really isn't. As you know, as far as the primaries go, Wyoming just finished their primary over the weekend, and I kept seeing two different outcomes. I don't know if you guys did or not. One says that she's won and keeping her seat. There's another one that says she isn't, and she didn't win, and she lost to a Trump-backed supporter. Well, on that person's going to last, I don't think, not very long either, because they have to face a Democratic challenger. And if that Democratic challenger wins, well, the GOP is out the window, and Wyoming turned blue. And Wyoming, Texas, Tennessee, Florida, they need to turn blue. You really do. The GOP is not what it used to be anymore. It's more of a radical, super radical GOP party. And they used to work across the aisle often and get things done. Well, now, when the Reduction Act occurred, they decided to get things done now. And some of them... Yeah, well, that's what I heard too, Nancy. The Associated Press said that she lost. But I think there are still ballots that are still being counted. So, I like Liz Cheney. I don't always agree with her policies, but I like her. She doesn't show any of the radical side at all. She believes in following the oath of office, and that's what she did. And some of the other radical ones, like Boebert and Green and Graham, they're not following the oath of office. So you know what? Since we, the people, are employers, need to boot them out. Yeah. Well, it depends on the county, the voting system counties that are in Wyoming. Um, People have a tendency not to do their research of what's really happening and everything. Now that Trump is in real deep doo-doo, and he violated the Espionage Act, he could find himself in prison. And I think now the Federal Elections Commission should not allow him to run. They should deny his application to run. They really should. Because he violated those laws. Okay? We never had a president that did this. Ever. All the previous presidents before him are required through the Presidential Records Act of anything that they generate is to turn over to the National Archives. Then, when they build their libraries, they could loan out those information or make copies of those information. But, because it shows their legacy of what they, it's an open record of what they did while they were term in office. But some people are so obtuse and not willing to study as to why things happen as they did. Okay. Also, while rules and regulations, in other words, their regulation of why laws are the way they are. So, yeah, I kept hearing that too, that she might run for president, or she might run for another office. She might run for governor of Wyoming, who knows. So, she wants to really thwart Trump as much as she can. And Kissinger's that way too. He's thwarting Trump. He's basically retiring, but also he's wants to do other types of public service, not necessarily as senator or as House Representative. And so people think the House Representatives, the upper chamber, and it's really not. The upper chamber is the Senate. And the lower chamber is the House. I think that's how it is. I have to double check that. It's been a while. But if you look over your civics and everything, and you remember back what you've been taught or what you learned, it really wouldn't hurt. People need to go back to civics to understand how it works. But the most important we need to think about is that we have to do our civic duty by voting. Voting is your civic duty. You're the boss. You just pick the candidate and say, okay, I want you to work for me. This is what I like to see done. Okay? And yes, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Some opinions are wacky and wonky and go, well, you really think that? I mean, is that really true? Type scenario. Okay? She might run as an independent. Who knows? Okay? We need more independent senators and representatives in Congress. We really do. I think now the Independent Party needs to replace the GOP. I think that's the best way to go. Get the U.S. Independent Party to replace the GOP. So, and those people in Wyoming said what the GOP are just being plain dumb. They're being obtuse. That word obtuse means purposely ignoring the facts and being purposely ignorant. Obtuse used to be my mom's favorite word. I'm following her example now. Anyway, next thing here in the space exploration race that's going on right now. This morning, Russia was supposed to send two of its, well, they did send two of its astronauts out to do spacewalk and do some repair and doing some maintenance and adding on new equipment and everything. Well, one of the astronaut suits was not working properly, and he was getting almost like the case of the bends. So they've hauled him back inside, and they canceled the spacewalk until they find out what the problem is with the suit and the oxygen mask and oxygen tanks and everything. Which was a smart move. If the bends are not tuned properly, you can die from it. It's sort of like getting too much oxygen in your system is what's happened. Now, I see, on when I posted my poll, I'm looking at opening up the public, but when I do, I need moderators. Just to keep out the goofy people and those that sit there and cause problems. I need moderators for that. In order this to be an open, civil channel, if you will. Okay, I'm going to show results. There we go. Alright, so anyway, I do need moderators for that. So Dorothy, Nancy, Bill, I need moderators. So as far as Russia doing that, they had to cancel their spacewalk, so they can't finish their maintenance thing until this is resolved. Now, also yesterday, the Artemis, NASA Artemis rocket rollout, that's been rolled out is now at pad 39A. SpaceX is building another 39A, but it's called 39. Well, they're using pad 40, so, they're using, see, 39B, they're using 39B, NASA is, and 39A is what SpaceX is using when they launch their, Falcon 9 rockets. So, anyway, the Artemis rocket launch is occurring August 29th. Launch pad is, they're broadcasting it. Go to YouTube and look up the launch pad. And it's run by Zach. He does a wonderful job. Gets all the facts and figures and everything together. And so, 29th. Now, this rocket will be unmanned, and it will be all operated by computers, autonomous. And so when it goes to the moon, what it does is it's going to launch, go to the moon, checks everything out, go around the moon, and come back, and then land. They want to make sure everything is working properly before they send the actual crew to the moon for ornaments. Now over in SpaceX, their Starship is still being worked on, and they're going to be getting ready for its orbital launch on that. I think it's sometime either August or September. I don't know. They keep switching their dates around, so I'm not sure what's really going on there. I haven't got the full news on that. But if you go to Fakestats.com, they'll go to their orbital test on that on their website, and they should explain of that to what's going on there. So, and I don't mind space exploration, and I don't mind spending money for that. I really don't. What I don't like is the waste that's going on. That needs to be curbed. That really needs to be curbed on the waste. Especially in the military. They need to do a little bit more research on a lot of stuff. Now, I saw in the news earlier that Russia and China are collaborating. You know, I don't think it's a very good idea on China's part, because I know China does not trust Russia, and Russia does not trust China. So why are they collaborating? And I think Russia's trying to look for new allies. They don't have very many allies, because a good majority of the countries on this planet are Noah, or not Noah, but North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO. So Russia needs to leave Ukraine alone. They really do. And Ukraine is now firing rockets over on the other side into Russia to knock out their plants and everything else. And they took out an airfield where all Russia's aircraft is. I think Putin bit off more than he could chew. I really do. So, anyway, we gotta keep an eye on those two. China needs to leave Taiwan alone. They really do. They have no business doing that. China is like a bully, and they need to stop bullying. Same way with Russia, they need to stop bullying. It's getting, one of the other Trump allies are getting to the point where they're not trusting Russia at all. And they're looking at, I think it's Belize, one of the Baltic states. They're going like, you know, we don't really trust Russia that well. Now that Finland and Sweden are now NATO members, I think Russia's now backed off on them. I really do. Because Russia, Sweden, and Finland, those guys don't play around. They went to war with Russia before, way before World War I. They went to war with them before because Russia has invaded those countries before. Well, guess what? Both Sweden and Finland gave Russia the old boot. And you think Russia would go back and look at its history and go, you know, we need to stop doing this type thing. So anyway, okay, Nancy, I'm letting you know my, there will be changes made on my store. So let me know when you get your product, and, you know, I'm trying to find better things for my store. Really, I'm trying to do. So, so if you guys need anything from my store, feel free to check it out. Because I need customers. Really do need customers. And here's my put my store here. So anyway, check it out. That's no problem, Dorothy. Do what you have to do. And enjoy your company. Enjoy the visit. So I will be here on Friday at 1 o'clock, unless anything changes. Let me double check something. Hold on one minute, let me check my calendar. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I'll be on as usual 1 o'clock on Friday. I'm going to need moderators because I'm going to expand it to the public and see if I could, this is through all my friends list and everything else that want to, you know, get going on this. And also I'll be posting this same video on YouTube. It's also under Ginger's Rant Show. So, I hope to see you there. And be sure to view. I need a lot of views. I have 4,000 hours of viewing time. So, and I need about 1,000 subscribers. And I need for that to start climbing. I really do. So, anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you on Friday at 1 o'clock. Be sure to insist, persist, and push back and say, look, we want to make things better for everybody, not just like you. So anyway, take care, love you, and I'll see you on Friday, okay? Love you. Okay, bye-bye.